What's up, Aaron? Right here at Canadian Looney, we've got one of our favorites, Stephanie Kusie. She's a wild cowgirl. Let's check her out. There's all this controversy in Canadian federal politics, and there should be. But Stephanie Kusie is one of our favorite ones to watch. Let's see how this goes.
Well, Canada's 45th Parliament got underway in earnest today, the first question period since the return of the House. And the players may have changed, but the debate was still pointed, with opposition House Leader Andrew Scheer taking Prime Minister Carney to task for failing to table a budget before the fall.
Since the election, Canadians have been inundated with grand rhetoric and pretty speeches from this Liberal Party, but they are still suffering under all those policies. Household debt up at record levels, number of people who can't pay their mortgages increasing, food bank use continuing to rise. Now TD Bank is forecasting a recession with hundreds of thousands of lost jobs. The PM said undoing the damage of the last 10 years would require great speed, but he's not going to table a budget for 6 months. If he's the man with the plan and the guy you hire in a crisis, why won't he table a budget before he goes on summer vacation?
The right honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I understand the member of the opposition is very busy, didn't have a chance to study closely the 100-day plan of the former member from Ottawa, Carleton, which did not include a budget. Our plan includes legislating. Our plan includes legislating for one Canadian economy and nation-building projects immediately to grow this economy, and we expect the support from all in this House.
Well, let's talk about the return of Parliament, as we're now joined by Conservative MP Stephanie Kusie, the member for Calgary-Mindapore. Ms. Kusie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
Here we go. She is one of my favorites.
So we just heard your Commons leader, Andrew Scheer, criticizing the government for not delivering a budget now, although the government says a budget will be coming in the fall. Why the criticism over this delay?
Well, we're very concerned, frankly, that Mark Carney does not have a plan. As we return to the Parliament, we're very fixated on our 5 priorities, of course, reducing the cost of living for Canadians, getting more homes built, keeping our streets safe, getting our productivity up, and of course, considering our immigration system, which needs to be reevaluated, most definitely. So not having a budget is an indicator of a complete lack of a plan by this government. A new government, you think the first thing that they would do would be to present a budget to the House of Commons and to the people of Canada. So that really is a failure as far as we're concerned in terms of having a plan.
Although, we did see a plan in the throne speech read by the King yesterday, and that is what the Prime Minister points to. He points to the promises he made through the campaign, because in many ways they are a reflection of each other. Why are those priorities that do include a tax cut, the dropping of internal trade barriers, why is that not enough, considering we only really have a month before the House rises for the summer?
Michael, it seems to continue to be a series of platitudes. We did not hear a single thing about pipelines or oil and gas, which are very important for my people, the region that I come from. As well, he has often provided targets, but no specific concrete ideas as to how he's going to achieve these targets. So, for example, as Shadow Minister for the Treasury Board, I take note when he says that he is going to reduce the operational budget by have it be no greater than 2% compared to the 9% we've seen recently, but they haven't laid out a concrete step-by-step plan as to how they're going to do that. He also indicated that he wants to reduce the operational budget, have it balanced, I should say, within 3 years. Again, he creates these objectives.
I love Stephanie Kusie. I just do.
But he doesn't say specifically how we're going to get to them. Pierre Poilievre had a 100-day plan. He was going to have us here through the summer. I'm happy to be back, but I wasn't looking forward to that necessarily. We're seeing a lot of ideas from Mark Carney, but not specifically how we're going to achieve these objectives. And we're going to need to do a lot, considering we have a $1.4 trillion debt and a $61.9 billion deficit as of last year, Michael.
So it makes me then wonder, what can your party work with this government on? Because at the end of the day, as a minority Liberal government, they're going to need the opposition support to get things passed. So where do you see yourself working with the government if fundamentally you have problems about not having the information that you say you need?
Okay, it's a pretty good question. How do you work with an impossible government?
Well, we will definitely continue to stand up and speak for the 8 million Canadians who did vote for us, over 41%. And they want to see productivity in the way of, for example, eliminating Bill C-69, the No More Pipelines bill, getting rid of C-48, the No More Tankers bill, to harness our productivity. Pierre Poilievre also had the idea of greenlighting the Ring of Fire, these types of initiatives. As to working together, I'm sure you also saw the announcement today Michael, that Mr. Poilievre has committed to our support for the Ways and Means bill. Does it go far enough? No, it does not. But even any little tax break that this government is willing to give the Canadian people, we will stand behind. Mr. Poilievre said, even before we enter the House of Commons, where the ideas are not good, we will oppose. But where they are good, and we think a tax cut is good for Canadians, we will support. So I think that's one example right there, Michael, of how we will work with this government when they show they are doing things for the Canadian people.
Now, the government also says it needs to move quickly on projects, and so they talk about both traditional and conventional energy. They've raised concepts of an energy corridor, pipelines as well. You're mentioning specifically C-69.
This little guy, Shapiro, or whatever his name is, who cares, is better than David Cochrane. David Cochrane, CBC, boo.
And C-48. But if, for example, their proposal is to create pipelines, but does not address those other, the tankers or the Environmental Assessment Act, will the Conservatives still support them without movement on those other two bills?
Well, I'll point out, Michael, that the energy corridor has been our idea over several election platforms now. And again, I think we're just concerned as to how will these objectives be obtained if they do not eliminate C-69 and C-48. I'll give you another example. Minister Hodgson was in my hometown of Calgary on Friday speaking to our Chamber of Commerce. He mentioned a one portal window for these projects, but a 2-year approval time. I mean, if we're thinking that a government is within a 4-year term at the maximum, certainly we hope less as the official opposition, even if we start day one here today with a 2-year approval process, I mean, that is a long time before we even start to make the plans to get the shovels in the ground. So we really need to think about, again, how these things are happening, a specific plan, not just platitudes, Michael.
Okay. Listen, quickly running out of time, but I do want to ask you, because you are a proud Calgarian, you're a proud Albertan, but we're also in this moment where we're seeing a separatist movement speaking more loudly out of Alberta. What is your thought on the viability of that movement, how Ottawa should be responding to what we're hearing from people willing to take the province out of the country?
I think that this is a critical moment for national unity, Michael. And I believe that Pierre Poilievre recognized that during his campaign and produced policy that would unify Canadians, that would make all regions feel as though they are part of Canada, contributing to Canada. And I'm not really saying the same thing from the Liberals and Mr. Carney. I'm seeing them talking out of both sides of their mouth, not making any real commitments one way or another. Uncertainty is not needed at this time. What is needed is certainty and unity. I'm just not seeing that from Prime Minister Carney right now, Michael.
And is it just the energy file? Will moving forward on energy and getting oil out of to other markets be enough to essentially quell the concerns being expressed out of Alberta, do you think?
I think it is a significant piece and a major starting point.
Quell the Conservatives. It's got such a connotation, just the statement.
Stephanie Kusie, really appreciate the time. Nice to see you.
I always appreciate you, Michael. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, we're going to wrap that guy up. Michael Saporio, something like that. Cpac sucks. Watch Kennedy and Looney then. We cover Cpac, and they suck. I'll show you all the best parts of when they screw up. Aaron, Kennedy, and Loney, like, share, subscribe. Come and join us. We're going to be doing the live question period today. It's fun. We've got an amazing chat room. It really is an amazing chat room. That's it, Aaron. Catch the next video. Thank you for watching this one. We're out. Kennedy and Looney. All meet No filters. We're out.
Hello there, my noble, strong fellow Canadian. If you are watching this film strip, then no doubt Canada is in grave danger.